I was doing the math, and I think I've been to Royal Caribbean's private island of Perfect Day at CocoCay at least 50 times. So if somebody was going for the first time, here's the advice I would give them for their very first visit. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I absolutely love cruises that visit Perfect Day at CocoCay because it's an amazing place. There's so much to do there. It's like the ultimate beach day, and I really enjoy going there with my family. And today I wanted to share the things that I wish I knew before I ever went to Perfect Day at CocoCay so you can totally benefit from it. Number one, you don't need to spend extra to have a great day here. Royal Caribbean includes a lot in your admission into Perfect Day. It's another port stop for you, but there's a lot that you can see, do, eat, and enjoy without spending a dime, and that's really important. Chill Island, Breezy Bay, South Beach, Oasis Lagoon, Captain Jill's Galleon, Splashaway Bay, Cove Beach, the tram service, lockers, umbrellas and chairs, and beach access wheelchairs are all included. Now, that's a lot right there on your screen to take in, but that is a lot of the island. That's most of the island. I'd wager 75% of the island is included. So when you go and start planning your cruise, it's really tempting to start booking things and paying extra. But trust me when I tell you, you really don't have to. I mean, sure, if you want an adults-only experience, Hideaway Beach is the way to go. But if it's not your purview, you really shouldn't feel that obligated to spend extra. While places like Thrill Water Park and the Coco Beach Club and, of course, Hideaway are fantastic, it's not to say that you can't have a great day without them. So don't look at it as, oh gosh, if we don't book anything, we're already off to a bad start. That's really the opposite. I'm really impressed by the food quality that's available here. I really like the beaches and the different vibes you can get. You can go to Chill Island for, well, a chill day, a relaxing day, the quietest day. If you want a little more atmosphere to your beach day, go to South Beach and you're going to get music, and there's a floating bar, which is fantastic, and a little more energy there. You've got Oasis Lagoon, which is my favorite go-to spot on the island because it really blends the best of everything, and it's in a pool, which I absolutely love. Or hit up an underrated beach like Harbor Beach, which really a lot of people don't go to. Just understand you don't have to hit the buy it now button in order to have a great day. But that leads me to number two. If you were gonna spend money, well, then the cabanas are probably my top choice for it. So there are plenty of ways you can spend money around CocoCay, but I think spending money on the cabanas is by far the best use of your money. If you can afford a cabana rental, it's a great way to splurge during your days. Cabanas offer privacy, shade, fantastic waiter service, and really a home base for your family during the day. Your cabana attendant will bring you complimentary food throughout the day, as well as take drink orders. Of course, cabanas do have an extra cost, and they're not cheap. But the reason to book a cabana is for the privacy and service it provides. There are plenty of umbrellas and shade around the island, so you don't have to worry about that. But the more people you have, the more compelling a cabana is to book. If you do have like 5, 6, 7 people, the price per person really makes the choice far more reasonable. If you can split the cost between another family and you, then even better. But regardless if you're talking about the cabana or anywhere else in the island that does cost extra, since we are on that topic, that leads me to number three, and that is when you're talking about extra costs, prices are all over the place. So what you really want to do is watch it like a hawk. Royal Caribbean offers sales like every week now. It used to be really few and far between, but now there's a promotion for major and minor holidays. And even just like random, like, hey, it's a weekend, let's have a sale kind of sales. So when we're talking about these extras, the prices fluctuate a lot. The price you see for anything, cabana, admission into a special area, or anything else that you can rent at Perfect Day at CocoCay, are going to change throughout the months leading up to your cruise. In fact, the price you see on day one when you book your cruise is probably going to be very different than later on. You know, Royal Caribbean got a lot of flack about a year ago or so for some of its prices at Perfect Day. They were really heading up. And to be clear, it's not like they're cheap today, but they were very much going in one direction. Whereas today, I feel like you can really time it well, with a little bit of luck, of course, and get some decent prices for some of these things. I have seen consistently really good prices, not only during holidays like Black Friday and leading up into Christmas, but again, as I mentioned, like random holidays like National Margarita Day, there have been decent deals that have bring the prices down quite a bit. So what you really want to do is not just look at the price once and say, okay, well, that's the price. You really do need to check it like a lot. And you can check it like once a week. I mean, that sounds like a lot, but the more you check it, the more likely you are to actually time it for that. Speaking of that, an easy way to be notified if there is a sale is to install the Royal Caribbean app on your phone, because the Royal Caribbean app, if you allow notifications, will alert you when there is a sale going on, and that can be the perfect impetus for checking to see if there's a better deal. All right, we're up to number 4, I believe, on the things that I wish I knew about Perfect Day before I ever went there, and that is don't spend all day in one place. So when you're planning where you're going to go, you're probably got one area in mind. Now, if you're buying admission to one place like Hideaway Beach or Cocoa Beach Club, then you're paying for that. You should spend all day there. But if you're not going to one of those places, I would advise you to actually mix it up and move around. I would start off your day somewhere and then move to somewhere else, because that's kind of the benefit and the beauty of this island. As an example, what I would probably do is start off at Oasis Lagoon and enjoy a great pool day to start your day. Also, the pool is a little less busy in the morning hours. But as the crowds start to build and it gets a little more of a party atmosphere, switch it up and then move over to Chill Island or South Beach or Harbor Beach. There's a lot of great places around there, and it really does behoove you to move around because it allows you to get a different vibe and a different experience. And I have found that when you're spending times at any of these places, like, there is value in spending like 2 or 3 hours in one of them, and then moving really adds a different dimension to it. So I really think you should not spend all day in one place. Again, unless you booked admission into one of these other extra cost places, then get your money's worth and stay there all day long. I was also thinking about the Cocoa Beach Club, and that leads me to the next thing I wish I knew about Perfect Day at CocoCay, is the Cocoa Beach Club is really worth it in winter because it has one thing that you really can't find elsewhere, and that is a heated pool. During the winter months, and when I'm talking about winter, this is Caribbean winter, not New York winter, so, it's all relative. But the air temperatures can really get a little chilly, relatively speaking. I'm using air quotes. What I mean by that is when you're in the months of December, January, February, maybe March, it'll feel a little chilly out there. You might actually think to yourself, is it warm enough to go swimming? The good news is the infinity pool at the Cocoa Beach Club is heated, and that's a big difference because obviously the ocean is only heated by the sun, as is Oasis Lagoon. The only other heated pool at Perfect Day at CocoCay is Hideaway Beach, but I'm going to assume that for our viewers, not everybody is able to go to an adults-only area, but that would be another benefit for going there as well. But having a heated pool really makes a difference. I mean, you can have a great time without ever setting foot in the ocean or any body of water, but I think a lot of people want to spend time in a body of water while they're at this island, and the Cocoa Beach Club has its heated pool, and that was a huge benefit. Earlier this year, I went there a couple times because I found a great deal during Black Friday to get over there, and I got to tell you, that heated pool really made a difference when we were there in January and February. So if you're gonna get admission to the Cocoa Beach Club, I would prioritize it during the winter months. If you're there in the summertime or spring, fall, you really don't need it at all for that particular purpose. There's other reasons to book the Cocoa Beach Club, but I digress. Next up, eat breakfast before you go to the island. There is nowhere to eat breakfast on Perfect Day. And the first place that opens up for food service is going to be around 10:30 a.m., which will be the Snack Shack. So, you really don't want to be peckish early on, especially if you're starting to drink on an empty stomach. So it really behooves you to get something to eat before you leave your ship. I learned this lesson the hard way a couple different times, especially trying to push my kids out the door, like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then you get there and realize that 10:30 comes kind of slowly when you're really hungry. Truthfully, you should be getting off the ship as early as you can to take advantage of the island. Number one, there's less crowds. Number two, you can pick a litter in terms of the chairs there. And number three, you get to enjoy more time, especially at some of these places that fill up and get busier later in the day. But make sure you have something to eat in your stomach before you do that. The next thing you should know about Perfect Day at CocoCay is that the excursions take you off the island, I think, are a complete waste of money. What I'm talking about are things like kayaking or jet skiing or the swimming with the pigs. These things really aren't how you should spend your day. I mean, yeah, there's value in that if you're really into like one of those activities, but it's far from the best activity that's on the island. And I would also argue that those same activities are probably much better elsewhere in one of the other ports that you're going to visit. I think Perfect Day at CocoCay has a lot of strengths, but those off-island excursions are not one of them. I think Royal Caribbean provides it because, hey, they can make a little bit more money on it, and clearly there are some people that are looking for it. But in the grand scheme of things, I would save things like snorkeling, kayaking, jet skiing, and all those activities for a different port of call. I think there's just going to be a better experience overall. As an example, the snorkeling Perfect Day is really lame. There's really not much to see down there. I think you're going to have a much better experience in another port. And kayaking, I would rather spend your time over at one of the beaches or pools because they're so much better. That's the strength of the island. Emphasize that and focus on that. And that's why I say the off-island excursions are kind of a waste of money. Speaking of things that are probably a waste of your time is the Up and Away helium balloon ride. It's not that I don't like the Up and Away helium balloon ride. I've actually done it a couple times. It's nice. It's quaint. The problem with it is it never runs. I mean, it needs near perfect weather conditions. So the reason I don't recommend it is I would hate for you to plan your day around it and then it be canceled, because there's Rilla won't say this, but I think there's an 88% chance of it being canceled on any given day because it's very breezy over there and it just never seems to go up. So my advice with the Up and Away helium balloon ride is don't book it, don't plan on it. Now, if you happen to be on the island and you see the balloon going up in the air, head on over and ask to see if you can book a ticket for it. I bet you can, but don't plan your day around it. Don't make it a focal point. I just feel like you're going to end up throwing your money in kind of a boomerang fashion where it's going to come back at you because it gets canceled inevitably. Let's say you're not beach people, you don't want to spend any time in the water. What's a great way to spend your time at Perfect Day? There are two places I would head. Number one is Captain Jack's. It's the bar area that's the closest to the pier, and they actually have a really nice bar in the shade, and there's live musical performances there, which is really nice. In fact, there's rope swing seats, which are really fun. In addition, the Hideaway Beach area has On the Rocks, which is another bar that has a live band that performs there. In both cases, there's great seating that's not in the water with good breezes and a great perspective and something different that doesn't involve being in the ocean. I'm not saying it's an all-day activity, but at least you could spend some of the time on the island. And the last thing you should know about Perfect Day CocoCay, if you've never been there before, is there's a secret sandwich. I've shared this tip a lot, but I got to include it in this video, and that is that there is a special, not on the menu item at the Snack Shack location. There are a couple different Snack Shack locations, one near Breezy Bay, one inside the water park. And all of these, if you go up to there and say, hey, can I get this secret sandwich? You're going to get a combination of a couple different menu items. Basically, it is a poor man's chicken parmesan sandwich. They'll take the regular chicken sandwich that's there, put mozzarella sticks and marinara sauce on it. It is so good, and it's worth ordering. And you can impress your friends and family by saying you know something that's not on the menu, but you can order over there. Definitely worthwhile. And lastly, because I am sure there are people that didn't watch the entire video, but are posting in the comments, Matt, why do you pronounce it Perfect Day CocoCay, not CocoCay? Isn't it supposed to rhyme? And the answer is no, it is not supposed to rhyme. If that was the case, Perfect Day Mexico, which is opening in 2027, would rhyme, but it doesn't. But more importantly, and the reason why I pronounce it Perfect Day at CocoCay is because that is the proper Bohemian pronunciation. Ultimately, both pronunciations are acceptable, but CocoCay is the more appropriate one, and since we're in the Bahamas, that's why I pronounce it the way it does. This is actually a fact that Royal Caribbean's former hotel director, Mark Tamas, told me a couple years ago when it first opened, and I stick to it, and that's why I say it the way I say it. So there you go. So for everybody in the comments that didn't watch all 12 minutes of this video, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notifications. So that way YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.